So I've got this little Midori Traveler's notebook that I originally used for an event called the Boom Boom Room, and I have those pages in here paper clipped away. But I started the two challenges, the Creative Midori Challenge on the left side, and this is by Live, Life, and Create. And this one over here is a list challenge called Listers Gotta List by the Reset Girl. And I decided to play along because I wanted to take just a few minutes every day to do something creative. I think it's great because it gives you the prompts and then you can go ahead and feel free to embellish or paint or journal as you please. So here's just a little flip through of my pages so far. As you can see here, I really got into using the white, and as I go through, oh yeah, so it is chipping a little bit. I wonder why it's doing that. See that? Well, I thought I would show you how to do the watercolor with the white because it looks so cool, but I am now a little concerned about, see how that's happening? It's kind of getting chipped, and I don't really know why, because it's not like this book has gone very far. It's just pretty much stayed in the studio. Oh, my bunny moved. Here it's not quite as thick, and then here it is, and then I accidentally dropped my brush, and so you can see the paint got over there, but it's a happy accident, so I'm just going to leave it. This was the page that I was stuck on, and you all on Instagram gave me some good quotes, but I went ahead and filled them in with just the random ones that I thought of and really liked, and a few of these are on Pinterest as well. So I'm going to show you how I do this whole white watercolor on colored papers. This is the exact watercolor set that I used, and you can see that the white is pretty low, and it's a fairly inexpensive set from Michaels. It's by the Artist's Loft. I believe it's less than $7 or $8, and if you have a coupon, well, then you can get it for cheaper. So I use this brush. It says Royal 2 on it. This is what it looks like. Okay, so I always have a cup of water, nothing fancy. Here are a few pieces of smooth cardstock that I just pulled, and it comes from this pack. It's from American Crafts, and it's a good size. It's 6 by 6. So the first thing I want to do is get my brush really wet and dip it into the water. Sorry, dip it into the watercolor paint, and I kind of just rub it along. So you'll have to understand that I am not an artist. I am not a watercolor expert. I do not have formal training. I am just experimenting and having fun with it, and that's why I like to do these challenges, is because it kind of pushes my limits as far as creativity goes. I'm out of my comfort zone, trying new things and new techniques. That's probably about a good amount to start. I always get to this point where I'm like, well, what do I write? But this one is probably good for some flowers. So I've been really into this whole like circle, floral circle type thing. So you can see that it's drying actually pretty quickly. What's so nice about these watercolors and this brush is that it's really an inexpensive way to experiment and to push yourself to kind of think outside the box and say, okay, well, I've got these watercolors, what can I make from them? And you can just doodle with them, really. I'm just gonna build up some flowers. You can see that the paint's going on really nice. It's almost got like a chalky texture. Okay, time to add some more water. Draw some leaves in here. And sorry if you're hearing that in the background. It just started raining really hard. I don't think we were expecting that until later this evening. And you know, for Los Angeles, it's kind of a big deal when it rains. We're not used to it. Although we desperately need it. Oopsies. I try to always have baby wipes on hand too. Whoops. Because I tend to make a mess. Sorry about that crinkling noise if that bothers any of you. Okay. So with these flowers, I just kind of like to use my imagination and see where it takes me. And sometimes I like the way it turns out, and other times I just want to scrap the whole thing. So I probably would recommend looking at some photographs of flowers maybe, or some drawings online. That way you can have a point of reference if you're just starting out. So I'm liking the way this is really turning out and kind of popping, but I'm going to set it aside because I want to show you how it looks on these colors as well. So here's the blue, and I think I'm just going to do some clouds. Definitely not the cutest cloud I've ever drawn. In fact, it's pretty ugly, but I am just going to make another one over here. That's a little bit better. I would recommend just getting a feel for how much water you want on your brush, what kind of brush you want to use. Maybe you want to use a bigger brush, a smaller brush. Perhaps you know a lot more about watercolors than I do and you prefer to use fancier ones. That is totally awesome and cool. And then maybe you don't get that result like I got in my book where some of it chips off. But I'm really happy with just playing around with this cheap set. Oops, I wanted that one to be open. Okay, so you get the idea, and let's do a little quote on this one. So you can see on the black that it's really vibrant and kind of popping where there's more paint and water, and then there's other places where it's a little bit more translucent and you can see the black through it. I love that. I added just a little bit more to this one and wrote you a little note because you all are so lovely for all of your encouragement and kind words on my blog and on YouTube. I love making these little videos for you guys. I think it's just another creative outlet that I'm excited to explore. If you have any comments or suggestions or anything that you'd like to see, comment below, and I love hearing from you guys.